this point, I want to just go ahead and add another view here. So all your view options are going to be accessible in the first section of your toolbar. So you can see that if I use a drop down there, it's showing me the same things that actually show up in the list automatically. So it's things like base view, which is what I just dropped into my drawing sheet that I'm looking at right now. From the base view, I can project off other views. That's what I'm going to be doing next. We can also create section views and detail views as well, and I'll be doing one of each essentially. So let's go ahead and project off a view here to visualize this part from another angle. So I'm going to select to project, and then I'm going to select the view in which I want to project from. So it's just looking for a little input here before it starts creating another view. Once I click that existing view, I can move this around and kind of drop it into the area of this sheet that I want to have it in. So I'll click again to drop that new view in there, and to get out of this dialog or to stop adding additional, I always just like to use my mouse shortcuts there. If I right click and hold and move my mouse to the right, it okays that setting, it drops that view into place, and that's pretty good. That's pretty easy as well. Now, as I start to add more views into this, I might get a little crowded. I might not like the size or scale that I've gone into. I can always change that after the fact, or I can move views around to gain a little extra space. This thing could probably move down a little bit. So to move this down, I'm going to just click the view once, and then you'll see there's this handle that pops up in the middle. Just click on that one more time. You don't have to click and hold, just click on it once, and then slide it to wherever you want. You'll notice that the projected view, because it is created off of that, it's going to remain aligned to the initial view there. So that's going to help ensure that whoever's looking at this drawing gets a nice clean look and a nice clean display. Let's do one more drawing view here. Let's go ahead and actually create a section view. So I'm going to move my cursor up here. The section view is the next option up. You can create full, half, offset, aligned section views. You can do all kinds of things with the section view tool. I'm going to just do a boring old normal section view. What I want to do here is I want to show what's happening through these counter bores and also this slot, this pocket that's in this open pocket that's here. So you see I'm calling it open pocket. That's because I've been taking that CAM course, so that's always good. So I'm going to click once to let it know essentially where I'm going to be dropping in this view. And then because I want this to be centered on the counter board that's there, I can move my cursor and actually kind of wake up the midpoint line there. So if you don't see it right away, don't fret. Just move your cursor there, let it hang out for a little bit. Once you have that attached, I can now move this thing up and keep that alignment and get that section view created exactly where I want it to be created. I can show you, you can do that with any one of these points. You could use the point on the counter bore or the tapped hole that we have there, etc. So in this case, this is the one I want to use here. So just one last time, I'm going to wake it up and just move my cursor straight up. Click once to start the section view. Move my cursor all the way down and through, and it's going to want to snap, to that display. And then I can just continue on to create this in different ways. So I've drawn that section view line through this model, and so now I'm happy with that. I can just go ahead and hit the OK button, or right click, use my mouse OK, and there we go. We've created a section view again, or sorry, for the first time. So I'm going to just slide the section view over to the right hand side over here, just to give me again a little bit more space here. I'm just going to drop it into place. And once I click OK one more time, it's going to drop it in. It's going to auto hatch that. I do have play over to how, as to how it's going to hatch and what hatch style it's going to use and what the angles of the hatches are going to be. So there's always those controls to get in there. But right there, I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. I think the last thing that I really want to do here is I want to create a detail view. Now, what I want to detail here is this open pocket that I keep referring to. It's kind of interesting. It's got this larger fillet over here and a shorter fillet over here. So I'm going to actually just create a section view to kind of point out this fillet that we see here. So I'm going to just grab my section view tool, my detail view. And again, I'm going to just select the view that I want to drop it into. And again, you can use those snaps to kind of get it to, midpoint on this, or use the center of this. There's any number of things that we could use here. So I'm just going to draw that as that is, and once I get that that detail view drawn in, I can move it to where I want it to be located. I can change the scaling if I really want to bump it up to see this in very fine detail. I can, but 2:1 is probably about all I can do here. So I'm just drop it into place, and again, click OK. There we go. We have a nice little detail view.